So here we are, step 12 of 12 conditions of a miracle. My name is Andrea Hylen, and leading up to a 12-week program this summer based on the 12 conditions of a miracle, a book by Todd, I have been sharing a taste of the steps every day. So today is step 12, recycling. So recycling is the end of the cycle. And as I've been saying, that there are times where you might be at step 1, going to step 4, back to step 3. You know, it's an interactive cycle in our lives to create a field of miracles. But we've been looking at them, pulling them apart, and looking at where are your strengths and weaknesses. Where are the ones where you need more practice? So recycling is about completing the cycle. It's about staying in flow. So if you think about flow as being stillness and waiting sometimes to actually move the energy, it's good to take action. There's the asking, giving, and receiving, and there are times where it's just happening. You know, you can just feel it all in this flow state. But a flow state actually has stillness and integration time and actual movement. So recycling is about really looking at the resources and tools that you have and continuing the flow of energy, completing the cycle. But so let me just say that nature is naturally in this cycle of flow of using the energy and resources and the recycling. An example of that is in the fall, when leaves fall off the trees and they land on the ground, they're then going into a decomposition state to become mulch. Birds in the spring are flying around looking for twigs and leaves to make their nests out of. So they're using these materials in that way. So continuing the flow of energy, it's to stay in a state of super abundance. So this state of super abundance, think of it this way. You have something, and to look at, are you using it? Are you using what you have? An example, there was a point in my life where I had so many books, and I realized people had been giving me a lot of books that were novel type books during a time where I was doing a lot of personal growth work. So I decided one summer to read one book a week, and it was during a time when I was traveling and living in places around the world. And so I decided that wherever I was when I finished that book, that's where I was going to leave it. So I was reading a book that my daughter had given to me called Yoga Bitch. And I finished reading it when I was in Santa Cruz, California, and I found a place where I could leave it in a coffee shop on a shelf for someone else to read. So that's the whole idea of recycling. Now, it doesn't mean you have to give away things that you're going to use, but there are times where, you know, why hold on to that? I can get another book, or I can go to the library, or I can buy another copy if I really want that. So keep the cycle going. One area I want to say that a few years ago, I had a friend who was wanting to be in a state of more abundance. And she was buying so much food to just fill up her refrigerator. And the place where I had a disagreement with her was she was buying so much food that she couldn't eat all of that food. And so there was a lot of food that was going to waste. And so the suggestion I would say is, if you want to create a state of abundance, and maybe having a refrigerator filled with food is a way of feeling that, like I have everything that I need, then look at ways to share that food before it spoils. Because why do you need these extra things to feel abundant? You know, having everything that you need is a form of abundance. So think about that recycling. What are ways of recycling? And actually, this 12-week program is the recycling condition, the 12th step, the condition, because I was leading a program called Carving the Next Path. And I was looking for some resources that I had used and developed a few years ago. And they were writing prompts and some meditations that I'd recorded. And all of a sudden I looked at it and I thought, why do I have this stored in a vault? This is information that I could be sharing with people. So that's why I decided to do a taste of all of these this week. And that's why I decided to use and recycle some of those writing prompts and put them into the program, while I was also adding additional resources. So just think about the recycling as continuing the flow state. When you reach a point where you feel like your vision, your dream has come true, what can you do to continue that cycle? Maybe it's to go into gratitude. Maybe it's to give something to someone. Maybe it's to go into a stillness and emptiness and preparing yourself for another level of sharing and creating and synchronicity. All right, well, it's really been a pleasure to share these steps with you, and I hope from my heart to yours that they have been of some value to you. And please share with others. And if you want to go deeper, the link to the program is right here. Bye-bye now. Blessings, everyone.